There exists a silent war, one that every man must face. It is not fought with swords or bullets, but with the mind. A battle between impulse and reason, between weakness and discipline. And the battlefield? Relationships. The greatest enemy of a man is not the world. It is not society. It is himself, his untrained mind, his uncontrolled desires, his craving for validation. The weak man seeks approval. The strong man stands firm. The weak man bends to emotions. The Stoic remains unshaken. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Yet, how often do we give that power away? How often do we let emotions dictate our actions, especially in the presence of a woman? A true man, a Stoic man, does not let himself be ruled. He stands in mastery of himself, unshaken, undisturbed. But to reach this level of strength, there are 9 things a man must never do with a woman. If you wish to live with honor, discipline, and self-mastery, listen carefully. 1. Never lose control of your emotions. A man without control over his emotions is like a ship without a captain, tossed around by the waves, directionless, powerless. Seneca once said, "A raging storm in the soul is no less destructive than one at sea." And yet, how many men destroy their lives because they let their emotions steer their course? Anger, jealousy, fear, neediness, these are the enemies that lurk within. These are the forces that, if left unchecked, turn men into weak, desperate, reactionary beings. Think back to history. The greatest kings, emperors, and warriors. Were they the ones who shouted the loudest? Or were they the ones who remained composed, unshaken, even in the face of chaos? A weak man lets emotions dictate his actions. He argues over nonsense, reacts to provocations, lashes out when things don't go his way. He begs for attention, panics when ignored, becomes enraged when things don't align with his desires. A Stoic man, however, is indifferent to external disturbances. He does not react, he calculates, he does not rage, he strategizes. Imagine a woman pushing your buttons, trying to get a reaction out of you. Maybe she's testing your patience, maybe she's seeking attention, or maybe she's just curious to see how much control you have over yourself. If you explode in frustration, you failed the test. You show weakness. You prove that you can be controlled. But if you remain composed, if you look her in the eyes unaffected, unshaken, she will feel something else entirely. Respect, admiration, attraction. This applies to all areas of life, not just with women. A man who masters his emotions masters himself. The next time you feel the fire of rage, the sting of rejection, or the cold grip of fear, remember this: you are not your emotions. You are the master of your own mind. Let others drown in their own storms. You remain unmoved. 2. Never seek validation from a woman. A lion does not ask the sheep for permission to roar. A Stoic man does not seek approval. He commands respect. But most men today do the opposite. They live for validation, especially from women. They dress a certain way, speak a certain way, adjust their personalities, all to please others, all in the desperate hope of being liked. Epictetus warned, "If you desire to be loved, love yourself first." Yet most men do not love themselves. They seek someone else to do it for them. And what happens? They bend, they chase, they become needy, always searching for a sign that they are worthy. But here's the brutal truth. The moment you seek validation, you lower your value. Imagine 2 men. Man A constantly asks a woman if she loves him, checks his phone for her messages, overanalyzes every small gesture. Man B does not care. He is busy, focused. He values himself and does not need external approval. Who do you think she will be drawn to? Women do not admire men who seek validation. They admire men who are already validated within themselves. Look at history's great figures. Did Marcus Aurelius or Seneca ask for applause? Number. They acted. The Stoic man understands that his worth is not determined by external forces. A woman's approval does not make you a king. Your actions do. The world belongs to those who walk without asking permission. 3. Never place a woman above your purpose. A man without purpose is a man already dead. Yet, look around you. How many men abandon their dreams the moment a woman enters their life? How many quit the gym, neglect their ambitions, and slowly turn into shadows of their former selves, all in the name of love? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, a man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. A Stoic man understands this deeply. He knows that his purpose is his lifeblood, his guiding force. And no one, not even the most beautiful woman, can take that away. Think of the greatest warriors, philosophers, leaders. Did they build their legacies by chasing women? Number. They built empires, ideas, legacies, and the women followed. But the modern man, he reverses this. He makes her his mission. He cancels plans for her. He neglects his work. He becomes obsessed with keeping her happy, with being good enough for her. And in the end, she leaves, because deep down, no woman respects a man who gives up his purpose for her. A true man walks his path, no matter who stays or leaves. He builds, he grows, he stays on course. And when a woman sees this, she follows, or she fades away. A Stoic man does not chase. He attracts by the sheer force of his discipline, his focus, his purpose. So ask yourself, are you walking your path? Are you building your empire? Or are you bending your mission for the sake of a woman? Because the difference between a king and a beggar lies in these choices. 4. Never reveal your weaknesses. Too soon, a Stoic man understands that not everyone deserves to see his struggles. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And yet many men reveal their inner battles too soon, expecting sympathy, expecting understanding. But not everyone will understand. Not everyone will care. And some will use it against you. The modern world preaches emotional openness, but a man must be selective with whom he shares his burdens, especially with a woman. In the early stages, if you expose your insecurities, your fears, your doubts, what happens? You appear weak. Not because emotions are inherently weak, but because a man who cannot bear his own weight expects others to carry it for him. And nothing repels attraction more than a man who seeks emotional rescue. A Stoic man carries his burden silently. He works on his weaknesses in the shadows alone, forging himself into something greater. Does this mean you should never open up? Number. But there is a time and place. Reveal too soon and you become a liability. Reveal when earned and you build trust. Women admire men who can handle their own storms. So before you reveal your inner world, ask yourself, has she proven herself worthy of knowing it? 5. Never argue over meaningless things. A Stoic man does not waste his breath on pointless battles. Epictetus warned us, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Most men lose control over trivial matters, a sarcastic comment, a disagreement, a minor insult. They react instead of rule. A woman might challenge you, test you, push your buttons to see what you are made of. If you argue over petty things, you lose. Not just the argument, but respect. A Stoic man picks his battles. He knows when to speak, when to walk away, and when to let silence be his answer. If a woman tries to drag you into drama, mind games, or emotional traps, do not engage. Stay composed. Let her fight shadows, because nothing is more powerful than a man who refuses to be provoked. 6. Never chase a woman who walks away. The moment she leaves, let her go. Nothing erodes a man's dignity faster than chasing someone who has already chosen to walk away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, when a woman leaves, this is not the end. It is an opportunity to sharpen your discipline. A weak man begs, pleads, overanalyzes. He becomes obsessed with getting her back. But a Stoic man, he does not chase, he replaces. Not with another woman, but with a greater version of himself. He builds his mind, his body, his empire, until she realizes that she was the one who lost. Understand this. If she walks away and you chase, you lower your value. If she walks away and you grow, you become untouchable. No matter how much it hurts, turn the pain into power, because the greatest revenge, becoming the man she will never have again. 7. Never let lust control you. A man enslaved by his desires is no man at all. The Stoics believed that self-mastery is the highest form of power. Yet many men allow their lust to control them, turning them into servants of their own cravings. Seneca warned us of this when he said, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." Lust is deceptive. It disguises itself as pleasure, but in reality, it is a form of weakness. It clouds judgment, makes men impulsive, and leads them to chase fleeting moments of pleasure at the cost of their dignity. When a man is ruled by lust, he compromises his standards. He chases what does not serve him, and worst of all, he forgets his mission. How many men have ruined their lives over a moment of weakness? How many empires have crumbled? How many legacies have been erased? All because a man failed to control his desires. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Yet when a man's thoughts are consumed by lust, they are weak, fleeting, and chaotic. A Stoic man chooses discipline over indulgence. He does not let a woman's beauty dictate his actions, nor does he become weak in her presence. Instead, he cultivates a mind so strong that external temptations hold no power over him. Control your desires, or they will control you. 8. Never chase a woman who disrespects you. A Stoic does not beg. A true man knows that respect is not asked for. It is commanded by presence, by action, and by self-worth. If a woman disrespects you, ignores you, or treats you as less than a man, the greatest mistake you can make is to chase after her. The moment you lower yourself to seek validation from someone who does not respect you, you have already lost. Epictetus warned, "If someone is able to provoke you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." What does this mean? It means that no one can lower you unless you allow them to. Look at history. The greatest men never begged for attention. They walked away from those who did not see their worth and focused on their purpose. Meanwhile, those who chased approval became forgettable, mere shadows of their potential. A Stoic man never pleads, begs, or tries to convince a woman to respect him. Respect is earned through strength, discipline, and presence. It is never gained by running after someone who does not see your value. Walk away, not to prove a point, but because you truly do not care. That is power. 9. Never rely on a woman for happiness. A Stoic man knows his happiness comes from within. Most men make the mistake of placing their happiness in a woman's hands. They believe that a relationship will complete them, that a woman's love will fill the emptiness inside. But happiness is an inside job. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A man who seeks happiness in a woman has already lost control. If she leaves, his world crumbles. If she is upset, his peace is shattered. He becomes a prisoner to her emotions instead of a master of his own. This is why most relationships fail, because men expect women to make them happy, but no woman can respect a man who is emotionally weak. Women are drawn to men who stand firm in their own strength, who do not need them, but choose them. A Stoic man builds a life that is already full, so when a woman enters it, she is a complement, not a necessity. Never let your happiness depend on someone else. True strength is standing alone and still feeling complete. The path of the Stoic Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. These men understood the way. The world is full of men who have forgotten their strength. They chase, they beg, they crumble, but we are not them. We do not seek love. We attract it through our discipline. We do not seek respect. We command it through our actions. We do not chase. We walk our path, and if she wishes to follow, she may. In the end, the greatest battle is not with women, nor with the world. The greatest battle is within. Conquer yourself, and you will conquer all. Power lies in disappearance. If these words resonated with you, then you must understand the true power of walking away. In my previous video, I revealed 5 things that happen to a woman when you simply disappear. If you want to understand how silence is the deadliest weapon, watch that next. Because sometimes the strongest move is not to fight, but to vanish.